Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to sort through all the noise and pull out those, real nuggets of knowledge from the sources you share with us. Today, we're diving into AI and coding. It's moving so fast, it's almost hard to keep up, honestly. We got two really big updates from August 2025 we need to unpack. Alibaba's Qwen 3 coder and Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.1. So our mission here is to really get into what makes these models tick, what's surprising, and what it actually means for you if you're coding day to day. Okay, let's get started. First up is Alibaba's Qwen 3 coder. This one landed July 23rd, and it's definitely making some waves. The big headline seems to be that it's open source, right?
Exactly. That's a huge part of its identity. But technically, it's also, pretty impressive. We're talking a 480 billion parameter mixture of experts model and MOE.
Okay, 480 billion. That sounds enormous.
It is, but here's the clever part. It only actually activates about 35 billion of those parameters for each token it processes.
Ah, okay. So it's got the scale, but it's efficient.
Precisely. You get the, let's say, the smarts of a giant model, but without the massive computational cost or the lag you'd normally expect. That's really important if you want to run things locally, or just keep your API bills down. It makes advanced AI feel more practical.
Right, practicality matters. So scale and efficiency, got it. But what about handling, really big projects? Huge code bases. I heard the context window is something else.
Oh, it absolutely is. It starts at 256,000 tokens, which is already massive.
256 prey. Yeah, that's...
But wait, there's more. It can be extended potentially up to 1 million tokens.
1 million series.
Seriously. So imagine your biggest, most sprawling project, hundreds of files. This thing could theoretically hold all of that in its mind at once. It's not just a bigger window. It fundamentally changes how the AI can reason about complex code relationships across many files. More coherence, better accuracy.
That makes sense. And that kind of deep understanding, seeing the whole project. That must be why it's supposed to be good at these agentic coding tasks. What does that actually mean for a developer using it?
Yeah, exactly. Agentic basically means it acts more like an assistant developer, less like just a code autocomplete. You give it a complex goal and it can figure out the steps. It'll write code, sure, but then it can try to run it, see if there are errors, debug those errors, maybe refactor things. It takes initiative.
So it's not just spitting out code snippets, it's working through the problem.
Right. It's managing a whole workflow, which is a big step up.
And the reason it's supposedly so good at that, it comes down to how it was trained, doesn't it? I saw some crazy numbers.
The training data is immense, 7.5 trillion tokens.
Trillion, wow.
And get this, about 70% of that massive data set was actual code.
70%. Okay, that explained a lot.
But here's a really interesting detail. They actually used the previous Qwen model to help clean up the training data for this one, like using AI to refine the data for the next AI.
That's pretty meta.
Isn't it? And it wasn't just passive learning. It practiced coding through reinforcement learning across 20,000 parallel environments simultaneously.
20,000. Yeah. Like it was running 20,000 mini coding projects at once.
Sort of, yeah. Constantly trying, failing, learning, improving. That kind of large-scale, long-horizon learning makes it really robust for complex, multi-step tasks.
Okay, that's seriously impressive training. And how do developers actually use this thing? Is there a tool for it?
Yep, it comes with the Qwen Code CLI. CLI meaning command line interface. It's actually a fork of the Gemini CLI, apparently, and it's optimized for those agentic workflows we were talking about.
So you can just talk to it in natural language in your terminal, tell it to run tests, handle multiple files, maybe even automate creating pull requests.
That's the idea, making those advanced capabilities more accessible and integrated into a typical dev workflow.
And is it actually out there? Can people use it now?
Oh yeah, it's widely available. Hugging Face, GitHub, Alibaba has their own Qwen chat interface, plus APIs through their Model Studio. And it's seeing real use. Tools built on Qwen, like Tangi Lingma, have supposedly generated over 3 billion lines of code already.
3 billion lines? That's not trivial. That suggests it's actually working for people in the real world.
Definitely suggests adoption.
And speed. That's always a factor.
Wait, and Qwen 3 seems to be a beast here, too. Cerebras, the hardware company, got it running on their wafer scale engine.
Oh, yeah. What kind of numbers?
An incredible 2,000 tokens per second throughput.
2,000 per second. That's genuinely workflow-changing speed.
It really could be. And it's showing up in benchmarks, too. It climbed to number 2 on the Open Router leaderboard, ahead of models like Gemini 2.5, even ahead of Claude 4 Opus at that time.
Wow, number 2. Okay, so Qwen 3 Coder is clearly a major contender. Open source, efficient, massive context, fast.
But
okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Because just a couple of weeks later, August 5th, Anthropic drops Claude Opus 4.1. And this isn't like a totally new thing. It's an update to Opus 4, right? Same price, same API.
Exactly. It's designed as a seamless upgrade for existing users. No change in pricing, no API changes needed, just better performance.
How much better are we talking? Is it a small tweak or a noticeable jump?
It seems pretty noticeable, especially for coding. They've pushed their score on the SWE Bench verified benchmark up to 74.5%.
Okay, 74.5%. How does that compare? Wasn't Opus 4 around 72.5%?
Yeah, so that's a solid 2-point jump. And importantly, that 74.5% puts it right up there, neck and neck, with OpenAI's GPT-5, which is estimated around 74.9% on that same benchmark.
So basically state-of-the-art for solving real-world coding problems based on that benchmark.
That's what the numbers suggest. More reliable, more accurate solutions, probably needing fewer attempts to get things right.
And what specific areas did they improve? I saw mentions of refactoring, debugging.
Yeah, they highlighted enhanced multi-file refactoring, which is crucial for real projects, more precise debugging, and generally better agentic reasoning, plus better context awareness and this interesting new flexibility they're calling thinking budgets.
Thinking budgets. Okay, what's that about?
Yeah.
Sounds intriguing.
It's actually a pretty neat idea. It lets you, the developer, kind of guide how much computational effort Claude puts into solving your problem. You can tell it, essentially, think fast and cheap for simpler tasks, or give it a bigger budget to really mull over complex problems, explore more options, catch edge cases.
Ah, so you can trade off between speed and cost versus depth of thought.
Exactly. It gives you more control over that balance, which could be super useful depending on what you're doing. Quick fix versus deep architectural change, maybe.
That is clever. And what are people saying who've used it? Is the feedback good?
Seems overwhelmingly positive, especially from businesses using it. Like, folks at Rakuten said it was great at making very specific pinpoint corrections without messing up surrounding code. That's huge for keeping code clean.
Yeah, nobody wants an AI making unnecessary changes everywhere.
Right. And another company, Windsurf, reported a pretty significant performance jump over Opus 4. Like a whole standard deviation better. They said it felt like the leap from Sonnet 3.7 to Sonnet 4, which was a major version jump.
That's a strong endorsement for an incremental 0.1 update.
Definitely. And then you see comments like on Reddit. Someone did a head-to-head with GPT-5 and basically said, for complex, from-scratch projects, Claude just felt better in the terminal, preferred it by a mile.
That feel is important, isn't it? When a tool just clicks with your workflow.
It really is. Sometimes it's not just the raw benchmarks.
And getting access to 4.1. Still the same routes.
Yep. Still available through the standard Claude API, their Claude code interface, and the big cloud platforms, Amazon Bedrock, Google Cloud Vertex, AI. Easy transition for existing users.
And it seems like Anthropic generally is doing pretty well. Lots of investment, good revenue.
Oh yeah, the momentum seems really strong. They're reportedly raising up to $5 billion more in funding. Their annual recurring revenue was supposedly $5 billion back in July, with plans to hit $9 billion by the end of the year. That's extremely bullish.
Signals a lot of confidence in their models, especially for enterprise use.
Absolutely. And they also emphasize safety. They did voluntary evaluations, and 4.1 apparently shows slightly higher refusal rates for genuinely harmful requests, while still being very good at not refusing safe, benign requests, finding that balance.
Right, that safety aspect is crucial, especially for businesses adopting these tools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's put these two side by side then. Qwen 3 Coder, Claude Opus 4.1, both clearly very powerful, but different vibes, different strengths. It's not really about just asking which one is the best overall anymore, is it?
Not really, no. It's much more about which one fits your specific needs, your project, your infrastructure, even your philosophy, maybe. Let's try and summarize the key strengths, maybe.
Yeah, good idea.
So, Qwen 3 Coder. The big flags are fully open source, huge plus for transparency and customization. That massive, potentially 1 million token context window for whole code base understanding. Incredible efficiency from the MOE designed 480B potential, 35B active, the agentic CLI for workflow automation. Blazing speed, especially on hardware like Cerebra's, that 2,000 token sec figure. Plus, scalable training, broad availability, and proven real-world use with billions of lines generated. It feels innovative, powerful, and flexible.
Okay. Strong case for Qwen, especially if you value openness and raw capability.
Then you have Claude Opus 4.1. Its headline is probably that top-tier SWE bench score, 74.5%, putting it right alongside GPT-5 for coding problem-solving accuracy. Really strong multi-file reasoning, very enterprise-ready feel. Those new hybrid reasoning controls the thinking budgets, offer unique cost-performance tuning, robust safety profile, polished user experience, and users praising its precision-making changes without breaking things. It feels refined, reliable, and enterprise-grade.
So it really feels like a shift. We're moving past just raw benchmarks, maybe. It's about the whole package, the ecosystem, the specific features, the development philosophy. You've got Qwen pushing the boundaries on open source scale and efficiency, and Claude polishing performance and reliability for maybe more stable enterprise contexts. For you, the listener, how do you even begin to choose between these?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It really forces you to think about your priorities. If you need bleeding-edge speed, if you want the absolute flexibility that open source gives you, if you love tinkering and being part of that community innovation, Qwen 3 Coder looks incredibly compelling.
Or empowered in the freedom.
But if stability is paramount, if you need something that integrates smoothly into an existing enterprise setup, if you value that polished experience and hyper-accurate, careful code modifications, and maybe need those fine-grained controls like thinking budgets, then Claude Opus 4.1 is probably still the top pick. It's about that reliability and precision.
So the big takeaway really is, Qwen 3 Coder is just phenomenal proof that open source can absolutely compete at the highest level, matching commercial giants in performance and offering unique flexibility. It's a massive statement. And Claude Opus 4.1 shows Anthropic refining an already excellent model into something even more dependable, more targeted for complex, real-world workflows, especially in business settings. Pragmatic, powerful gains.
And thinking about all this, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? As these tools get this good at writing, debugging, even reasoning about code, what does that actually mean for the role of a developer? Is it mainly about freeing up human developers to focus on the bigger picture, the architecture, the really creative problem solving? Or are we looking at a fundamental shift in the skills needed, maybe less about typing syntax and more about guiding, supervising, and prompting these incredibly powerful AI assistants? What is a developer in 5 years?
That's a really fascinating question to chew on. Something for all of us, especially you listening, to consider. How might these tools change your work, your projects, maybe even your learning path? It's a space to watch, for sure.